Today I'm learning about the input function in Python, and basically that is a function that prompts the user to enter data, and then it can return the entered data as a string. At least that is the default behavior. Now, just ignore this for a moment, and let's just run it again. So here you see the first thing that happens here is that it prompts me to enter data, enter the length. This is because I have set it so that this here input, and then it outputs this, and it then waits for my input. So let's say 10. And then it goes to the next one. So it asks for the next input, which I've kind of defined or labeled here. Let's say 5. And now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to calculate the area. So the area equals length times width. And then I ask it to print the area. So let's see what happens. So it shows this error message here, and then it explains the type error. So it says, here is the critical part, and then type error can't multiply sequence by non-int for non-integer of type string. Okay, so now I need to fix this. So what we need to do here is to typecast this thing. And I learned about typecasting in my last section. So typecasting, I want to typecast this into a float because we're dealing with geometry. So for example, if the length is, let's say 8.5, or let's say the length is 10. Yeah, let's say the length is 8.5 and the width is 8. We will not have a regular number, but we'll have a decimal, right? So that's why I need to put here float. So now this will be typecast as a float, and this will be typecast as a float. And now let's try this again. So I do 5.5 here and 5. And now it calculated the area. It outputs 27.5. Let's run it again. Let's make it easy. 10 times 2, 20.0. And again, if I remove this one, so if I don't typecast this, these will be strings, and strings cannot be used in arithmetic calculations, right? Non-integer of type string. So again, this is why. And I could also just turn this into an integer. So here, that would work too. So let's run it. Let's do 5, 5, so 25. But let's say it's 5.5. Oh, I forgot the opening bracket. Let's do it again. What did I do wrong here? Let's see. One too many opening brackets here. Okay. So, and now, let's say I put 5.5. Again wrong. Okay. Because it's an integer, and an integer can't be. So 5, 5, so that's the thing. But then if I enter a floating number, that breaks it because an integer only takes full numbers. So this is why it needs to be a float. Float. And now if I run it, this time it will work. So 5.5, 5, 27.5. Let's do it again. 10.1, 5. All right, there we go. So now what I want to do is I want to output it so that it's a little bit more descriptive. So what I will do is I will use a f string. I would say the area is colon, and then we use the placeholder here, area, and let's run this. Print f. Okay. Of course. Again, you see? These are the beginning syntax struggle errors. So 5, 5. The error is 25. 25 what now, we could ask. So we can say centimeters. And now we try this again. 5, 5, 25.0 cm. Now, since this is a area, I want to make it like this, 5, 5. So now it's 25 square centimeters. And according to Brocoder, there's another way of doing this if you wanted to, and that is, I think it's Control Command Space, and then it will create a superscript. Will it? There we go. Boom, that's what we want. So now if I run this, 5, 5, again, no. All right, 5, 5. There you go. The area is 25.0 centimeters, square centimeters, right? So now we'll do a second exercise, and I'll just comment these out so I don't have to go through the steps of inputting all this again. And then I'll just do this here. So now we start with item equals input. What item would you like? To buy, question mark, colon. And because this will actually be something that people just type in, so this can remain, the data type here can remain a string because it's just text, right? It's not a number that we use to calculate something. The next input would be price. So yeah, exactly, this is what we want, float, because it needs to be a floating number because a price can be something like $9.99, right? $9.99, so there's a decimal. And then input. And then instead of what item would you like to buy, we just replace this with what is the price. And we have two closing brackets here, one to close this bracket and one to close that bracket. And then the next one will be quantity. And then here, the quantity, you see, this is so smart that it just does this for us. So yeah, it should be an integer because the quantity should be a whole number, right? So let's say we want to buy a power bank. We don't want to buy 3.5 power banks, right? So it should be a whole number. That's why integer input. Opening bracket quotation, how many items would you like to buy? So that is all set. Okay, now we want to calculate the total price. Price times quantity. Yeah, there you go. This thing is so smart. I love it. and then print. Ooh, I like it. It does all the work for us. The total price is tab, and then the total value. So let's run this and test it. What item would you like to buy? Let's say I would like to buy a pillow. What is the price? It's $10.99. How many items? I would like 3. The total price is $32.97. Okay, we have this weird space here. It's probably because of this space. Let's try. So cheese 5 3. It's still doing the space. Wow. Huh. Total price is total. Total equals price times square. Okay. I don't know. I'm fine with that. I don't have to figure that out now. Okay, so now let's try to print another output, not the one. It says for generator, so print. And then we do an F string. There you go. This thing is so smart. Okay, you bought. And then let's see. Pizza of. No, that doesn't make sense. You have bought. So let's say quantity. 3. Let's just do this. Item. And I just add this because then it's like, if it's only one, it can be one pizza. If it's multiple, it will be pizzas. And I don't know how to code it, so I just type it like this. And then we do this, print F string again. Total is, and then we do total, exactly. Let's run it. So let's say I'm buying a Porsche. It's 80,000.01. I'd like to buy 7. We bought 7 Porsches of Porsche. Ah, okay. Yeah, I don't need that. And then your total is 500. Okay, yeah. So we got that. Now it does, of course, matter what currency this is in. If it's a Laotian keep, I would buy more Porsches. But let's keep it real. So Porsche, what's the price? 80K. I want to buy 3. He bought 3 Porsches. The total is 24,000 USD. And obviously, this is a very weird way of displaying a price, right? There should be a comma here. We don't need this. And if we have this, you would want this to be 2 digits behind the decimal. But, you know, let's leave it the way it is. This is a little bit above my current skill set. Let's just do one more. So I will. So these were all exercises from the Brocode Python full course for free 2024 version. Now let's do one more, and let's go with name equals input. What is your name exactly? And then location equals input. Where are you live? Where do you live? Okay, and then we do print, and we do an F string, and we say hi, name, and we just do from location. I hate that place. And then let's try if this thing works. What's your name? Bob Schmop. Where do you live? What's a place I actually hate? It's not that many. I don't know. Fruxter. Okay, hi Bob Schmop and Fruxter. I hate that place. Oh, okay, a little success. I'll take that.